What's up, everybody? It's ClearTalk here. I'm coming to you on the road. I haven't had the time or taken the time to talk about the debate that happened last week. It was on Thursday. We left out. Me and my family left out Friday morning early to Cincinnati to see my daughter and spend some days with her. Up there, since she moved up there for work after graduating, and so I actually didn't even watch the debate that Thursday night because we were too busy trying to get ready. So I watched it on the way up there to Cincinnati, and was honestly not that impressed by it, and of course I wasn't going to sit there and try to take the time to talk about it while I was on vacation or anything like that. And since getting back, it just didn't feel like there was anything really relevant to say about it. Outside of the fact that, clearly Trump was Trump. The setup of the whole debate, quite frankly, benefited him because it kept him controlled. They were cutting his mic, cutting both of them's mic when it wasn't time to speak, stuff like that. When, and you could clearly see quite a few times he was continuing to talk, but the mic was cut. So it did subdue him in his normal type of way that he does, which made, in my opinion, made him look better. But clearly he lied over and over and over again. There was no doubt about that. But clearly, even more so, what come out of that debate was the concerns and stuff of Biden and his age and the ability to normal motor functions and cognitive responses. Now, it has come out since, and the reason why I'm even talking about this now is that I also just got through watching the interview that he gave last night with George Stephanopoulos on ABC, and he stated that he was sick, which was been the reporting that he had some type of cold. He stated that he had COVID tests and all that kind of stuff done because he was concerned about it, but they said that it was just a cold. He didn't have any type of viral stuff, but he was tired also, which let's say that let's grant him all that. He was tired. He has and they pointed to the fact that he had come back from across seas, from the G7 or whatever summit stuff. He had 11 days, some of which was at Camp David, where supposedly he didn't really have much to do. But look, at his age, the presidential job is pretty stressful. Even if you're not doing anything, I'm pretty sure that there are moments throughout the day. He spoke that he had to have conversations, even the day of the interview. He had to have some conversations over the phone with some people and like leaders and stuff about certain things. I'm sure that that's probably, I'm probably not a day-to-day thing, but it, even on off days, I'm sure that they're having to handle something, even if it's short-lived. He's old as fuck, and like we know this, and so he clearly needs time to rest. Quite frankly, I think the dude needs to be put into a coma until the next debate to give himself enough rest. Like a lot of them there's been some that have said, and I completely agree. It feels almost like the Feinstein effect, where he's being put in stuff like at his age way more than which is the problem, right? Like that's the question I have, and the concern that I have, and quite frankly, I'm like highly convinced of is him being able to last and withhold doing this job for another 4 years, which has been the concern from the beginning of this campaign, because we have seen clearly, you know, the delays he's had mentally at times and stuff like that. Now, sometimes I think some of the concerns or some things that are brought up are a little hyperbolic, or a little over the top concerns. Like sometimes even small little he does a lot where he actually does like take a moment to think about what he's going to say, which is probably beneficial to him and something that they have probably practiced with him over and over again, is to take a moment to really think about your words before you speak. So oftentimes it'll look like he's spaced out for a few seconds and then suddenly he speaks, and people take that as some kind of a delay. I don't think that is a delay. I think that's just him trying to find the correct words and how to answer a question, which, like I said, probably is the best thing for him to do than to just spit fire, because he would probably say something he shouldn't. My issues, or where I find him to cognitively space, is at the end of talking about something, where he, and it's hard to define like moments where he really truly is losing his words or losing his thought, and the moments where he's just decidedly like stopping himself. Like there are moments where I feel like he's just he's like spitballing like points of like things that he's done or things that he's accomplished or things that, you know, or issues, things are going on. Then he just like finds this moment where he, you know, maybe he can't think of another bullet point, so he just like, you know, he's just like, well, you know, that's or that he feels like he's done said enough, like he's done hit 4 or 5 of them, and he's like, I don't need to continue down the list. So he's just like, well, you know, that I don't want to go any further, but just blah blah blah. Those are moments where I feel like he's just stopping himself. But then there are moments where he literally has started like talking about something completely off from what he originally was speaking about, and then just finds himself just sort of stopping. Those are the moments that are like the senior moments for me, like where it's clear that he's losing his train of thought, he's losing where he is, and he doesn't know where to go from there. Those are the moments where there's clearly like a lack, you know, and that's where he looks the most concerning for me. Like it, and taking some of the other moments and blowing them to extreme for me are hyperbolic, but the dude is clearly old, he's clearly declining, and that is the big concern, where he's, you know, all polls are stating that he's way behind now from Trump. I don't completely agree with the polls, where he stated that it's more of his people were telling him it's more of a toss-up, which for that to not be a concern is a concern. Like, you're going against somebody who is a psychopathical liar, and someone who like is a convicted felon in more ways than, you know, has been proven. And I mean, and you're like, you're okay with the fact that it could be a toss-up? It's like no, not like that. That should be concerning. So anyway, it's, and I do agree with that. I do think it is a toss-up, honestly. I think the polls are a little bit skewed. as here lately, or actually for quite a few years, they've been skewed way more to the Republicans and conservative side than Democratic or liberal, or left leaning or whatever. So yeah, I do think that they are skewed and a bit and not correct. I do think it is more of a toss-up. So the election's not my issue. I do think he does have a chance to beat Trump. Although, albeit, I think that somebody else would have a better chance. And at this point, I do feel like, well, let me continue. But my concern is him being like able to finish the 4 years. Like I feel like there's just no way in hell he's going to finish 4 more years. Best 2. And then we're left with Kamala. Now, in my opinion, at this point, I would prefer somebody to just step in. I would prefer him to step down, somebody else to step in, even if it is Kamala. Like, I feel like at least there would be the concern for somebody cognitively and effectively being able to do the job would somewhat go away. Like, or to some degree anyways. And yeah, there's concerns with Kamala most definitely, but I feel like at least those concerns will not be the problem. And although you kind of know what you get with Kamala, but you also kind of don't, you most certainly know what you get with Trump. So anyway, that's what I feel about it. That's the way the debate went. He was clearly off his game, wasn't hyped up on enough uppers or whatever the case, so it looked bad. The interview did look a little bit better, but it didn't really calm concerns. So I think that there's still the continued concerns and debate over whether or not he should step down is going to continue, and completely understood. So I don't know, but he said that it will only take the Almighty God coming down and telling him to step down for him to step down, and he's not coming down. Like that, I don't know how telling that response was for me personally. I thought it was hilarious, in more ways than one. But anyway, that's what we're that's it. That's what we're facing. We're facing a psychopathic, psychological, whatever. We're speaking a liar and just con man, criminal, and then somebody with a huge ego himself in Trump, with somebody else with a massive ego, and just clearly not in the moment realizing he needs to step down, for whatever, like, just pride, or whatever he thinks he is, God complex that Biden has clearly developed. Well, I mean, I think he's always somewhat had it, but it seems to be growing and growing in his age, and in this moment. So I don't know what it's going to take, but hopefully something will happen. I'm not convinced it will, though. Anyway, but that's that for the update on the debate and the interview. We'll see what happens in the coming days. His schedule is apparently pretty heavy. Although like I said, I think the dude needs to be put in a coma until the next debate so he can get some fucking rest. But anyway, next time, hopefully not on the road, but anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and give this out. So thank you very much, and until next time, peace. I'm out.